Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin stated that the U.S. may have staged the Georgian conflict. In an interview with CNN, Putin had this to say.
Это очень опасно, и это ошибочная политика. Но если это так, то данные события могут иметь и внутриполитическое американское измерение. Если мои догадки подтвердятся, то тогда возникают подозрения, что кто-то в Соединенных Штатах специально создал этот конфликт с целью обострить ситуацию и создать преимущество в конкурентной борьбе для одного из кандидатов в борьбе за пост президента Соединенных Штатов.
Putin's assertion has surfaced before, considering that Senator John McCain's foreign policy advisor is Randy Schuneman. Conservative politician Pat Buchanan wrote in Creative.com that from January 2007 to March 2008, the McCain campaign paid Schuneman $70,000, pocket change compared to the $290,000 his Orion Strategies banked in those same 15 months from the Georgian regime of Mikhail Saakashvili. Saakashvili, Buchanan states, wanted Schuneman to get Georgia a NATO war guarantee, get America committed to fight Russia if necessary on behalf of Georgia. Robert Shearer of TruthDig.com also wrote that he finds it inconceivable that Saakashvili would have triggered this dangerous escalation without some assurance from influential Americans he trusted, like Schuneman. And McCain gets to look tough, with a new Cold War to fight, while Democratic presidential candidate Barack Obama, scrambling to make sense of a more measured foreign policy posture, will seem weak in comparison.
The Russian recognition of the independence of South Ossetia and Abkhazia from Georgia is the most important fallout from the war that occurred earlier this month, simply because it sets in motion a set of dynamics which are obviously not going to be easily reversed and which will be in effect for a long period of time. That means that the United States and other allies of the United States which are upset with the Russian behavior over Georgia will have an issue in which they can really pound away at the Russians and use that as an issue to isolate and to punish the Russians in some symbolic way.
Georgia's military offensive on its rebel region of South Ossetia on August 7 met with a rapid and effective Russian military response. Earlier this week, tensions continued to mount as a U.S. military ship docked in the southern Georgian port city of Batumi. Russia responded, sending a missile cruiser and 2 other ships to another Georgian port in a show of force amid an escalating standoff between Russia and the West.
Тесновато для такой группировки на Черном море, тем более, что локационные средства у каждого военного корабля имеются, и радиусы ведения разведки от 300 до 400 километров с максимальной дальностью. Поэтому, конечно же, ситуация нетипичная.
While a ceasefire agreement calls for both sides to withdraw to their previous positions, Moscow says the agreement allows Russian forces to occupy security zones outside the rebel regions.
We also are very concerned because Russia continues not to be in full compliance with the agreement that it signed on to just 2 weeks ago. And so we're going to continue to press. There will be consequences for Georgia, and I think that consequences for Russia.
This issue of the secessionist territories between Russia and Georgia is not an issue on which the United States and other outside powers are going to make judgments that reflect a balanced, fair, objective set of criteria. They're going to obviously use a double standard in order to condemn the Russians for doing what certainly the United States would have done in similar circumstances, and to expect Russia to be self-denying on an issue which basically no other power would be expected to operate in that way.